This is May in Denver, Colorado. Yes, it snows in May. And that was the reason we jumped on an aircraft to head to Europe. The cheapest flight we could find was to the UK, so we booked a flight to Gatwick and then jumped on a bus down to the Eurotunnel to head over to France. I thought I'd take the opportunity to give you a bit of information about the Channel Tunnel. Channel Tunnel opened in May 1994 after 6 years of construction. Its original cost was $4.5 billion, and no surprise, it actually cost twice that much, $9 billion. And it's not one tunnel, it's actually 3 separate tunnels. One for the traffic going north, south, and the centre tunnel is for maintenance. And how long is the tunnel? Well, from start to finish, it's about 30 miles. But actually underwater, which I guess is the most important part, it's only 20 miles. And does it leak underwater? The answer is yes. But don't worry, there's pumps which pump the water out. And how fast does the Eurostar and Le Shuttle travel? 200 miles an hour. So Italy was our next destination. We jumped on a couple of trains and ended up getting off the station. We had already booked a bed and breakfast in Venice, so we walked out of the station and stepped onto a boat. It was a strange experience. So here's a few fun facts about Italy. Italy has more UNESCO World Heritage Sites than any other country in the world. The Colosseum in Rome could hold over 50,000 spectators in the ancient times. But this is an important one. Italy gave the world brands like Ferrari, Lamborghini and Fiat. They did miss out on Jaguar, but we'll give them a break. The most important fun fact is the last one. At the Trevi Fountain, you must throw the coin with your right hand over your left shoulder and hopefully hit the fountain. The map here shows our travel plan. After Venice, we're going to work our way down to Rome. It's difficult to describe Venice in words. It's beautiful, and that's probably an understatement. It's absorbing, it is romantic, and it is most definitely unique. I won't try to describe it in words. Have a look at these photographs, and if you get the opportunity, don't miss. Venice is beautiful. One of the great things about travelling through Europe is the train system. It's very economical and very, very efficient. There are over 20 trains per day on this high-speed route. And as I said, typically it's 3 to 4 hours. And most of the trains come from Rome, Termini Station to Venice, Santa Lucia. If after your time in Venice you're leaving by train, when the train is late or delayed, then don't worry, just wander across the road, you will find this nice green park and it's a good place to just sit around and relax. The photograph in the bottom left hand corner is people arriving on the ferries at the railway station, and you can leave the railway station the same way. Every day in Venice it's unique. The school children take boat buses to school. Groceries are delivered by boat. Guess this, even Amazon parcels arrive along the canals in boats. There are many, many unique things about the floating city. One of them, it has wood that doesn't rot. The wood supports are underwater, so there's little oxygen to get to them. And the water is mineral rich, so it actually is over the centuries turned the wood into really stone hard support. Venice, the floating city. It looks like it's just 2 islands divided by the Grand Canal, but it's actually 118 small islands which are all connected by over 400 bridges. Getting around Venice It's not that difficult, but you must remember there's no cars, no buses or no bicycles. There's just boats and gondolas, and obviously lots of walking paths. We'll start with probably one of the most beautiful churches in the whole world, St. Mark's Basilica. Now make sure that you go inside and go up the great marble staircase. It's filled with incredible details. There's gold mosaics and so many things you can't imagine. Well worth a visit. Back in 1902, St. Mark's Bell Tower collapsed. Fortunately, it was rebuilt, and that's what you'll see today. When you leave the Basilica, have a wander over to St. Mark's Tower. It's actually the Bell Tower, and it has sweeping views of the surrounding areas. The good news is getting to the top is pretty easy. There's an elevator. If your legs are feeling a little bit tired, you could pop over to the Grand Canal and take a hitch on a gondola ride. I have to tell you in advance, the rides are somewhat expensive, but ask yourself the question, when is the next time I'm going to be in Venice? And some of the sights you see, you can only see from the water. The bridge in the photograph is the Rialto Bridge. It is the oldest bridge that crosses the canal. And as you wander around, there's another 3 bridges for you to cross. The bridge in this photograph is very, very famous. On the left-hand side of the bridge is the courthouse, and on the right-hand side is the prison and execution chambers. And as the prisoners walked from the left to the right, they glanced out of the window for their last look at Venice, and they sighed, hence the name, the Bridge of Sighs. Also, a very romantic legend to the bridge. The legend is that couples who kiss on a gondola beneath the Bridge of Sighs at sunset as the bells of St. Mark are tolling will be granted eternal love and bliss. I now know I really should have paid for a gondola ride. There are many, many art galleries in Venice. Even wandering through the churches, you see lots of art. We spent 2 or 3 hours in the art gallery on the right-hand side. And we were pleasantly surprised when we went in, because the picture on the left-hand side is what it looks like inside. This is another art gallery that we visited, and it proves that statement, you can't judge a book by its cover. If you've been in Venice 3 or 4 days and you want to get away from the crowd, you might consider taking a 40-minute trip to the little town of Burano. Burano is nice and quiet, and there's street after street of multicoloured houses. There's souvenir shops, and it's well worth a visit. When you've enjoyed your time in Burano, jump on the ferry again and cross the water to Murano and see the glass blowing. I promise you won't be disappointed. Here are half a dozen items that were for sale. Lorena wanted to buy one. My excuse was they'll get broken in our backpack on our way home. Being cheap, I'm proud of that. Another unique occasion in Venice is the Carnival Masks Festival. And these photographs show you some of the things that the people get up to. Well worth a visit. I believe in next year it's 7th of February to the 17th of February. If you want to spend a day at the beach when you're in Venice, there's a Lido, which is only about a 16-minute travel. If you wander down to the ferry terminal, you can get a ferry straight to the beach. What you have to remember is Lidos means it's a private beach and you would have to pay. This slide shows Lorraine and I enjoying a 3-day visit into Venice. The smiles on our faces shows you how much we enjoyed it. Just to let you know, Venice is actually sinking. It's sinking by 1 to 2 millimeters per year. Not a great deal, but it does cause flooding in the winter time. So try and go in the spring and summer. The end. We really hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as we have enjoyed the last 14 years of travelling the world. Travelling, the only way to live.